Alright, let's now get to the changes of the build. I'm currently level 84, and who would have said levels are good for your characters? Yeah, but currently level 84, so I leveled up a bit. Sorry, and yeah, I made the switch to the version I was talking about in my last video, switching into Tri-Ally and utilizing these gloves. And works perfectly. These gloves not only give you the triple balanced elements, but also give you a shit ton of damage as extra, and that's wonderful because that is essentially flat damage, and that's what spear needs, flat damage. And yeah, other gear mostly the same. The belt I found and the boots these ones I bought, and yeah, I managed to squeeze in a little bit of rarity into the build. I currently have 68 rarity and it works perfectly. So, yeah, bit of rarity, life, 30 movement speed, evasion, ring, bought both my rings, are new, and yeah, this one, I don't know, just accuracy, flat damage, and life for the implicits, and the suffixes, I didn't care that much. Strength is great, and rarity, yeah, rarity, no, that's a prefix, that's the more prefixes, yeah, so suffix is only one here, and it's strength. Body armor still the same. Should replace this one soon. The other ring, this one this one was quite a thing. I bought it with just the flat damage, accuracy, life, and the rarity for 18 exalts, and I slammed 2 exalts, and first time I slammed the 35 fire res, and the other time I slammed 37 cold res, so that's a good ring, I would say. I got pretty lucky there. So yeah, I've got this ring, phenomenal. And I bought a helmet, again, only the prefixes are the important thing. Accuracy, ideally as much evasion as I could, but this was the best I could do. And yeah, accuracy, evasion, life, and if you can, some rarity on the suffix ideally, but yeah, I have it on the prefix because I don't have percentage evasion. The amulet, beacon of aces, self-explanatory. I'm doing Tri-Ally, so reducing all the resists would be quite difficult, so I decided to use this because I have a high crit chance anyways, and I'm aiming to get a 100% crit chance. And if you think that the estimate crit chance on Amazon, like you have here, is correct, it is incorrect. I've talked about it in my last video, so I'm not gonna talk about it now. Just I'm saying don't trust the estimate here. What you can trust is path of building. That's it. If you want to know more information on this topic, then watch my last video. So yeah, that's the amulet. Buckler, I didn't know they are this cheap. I bought this one for 7x, 6x. I'm not sure at the moment, 7 or 6x. And it has everything I want, completely everything. High block chance, evasion, life, and resist. That's all the things I need. And it cost me 6 or 7x. And I was, before that, running around with some 25 resist, 60 life, 90 evasion, 29 block chance buckler. I didn't know they are this cheap. So, yeah, I bought myself a buckler. And the weapon's still the same. And that is actually quite funny because I did all the changes. I bought most of the gear, reshuffled the skill tree a bit, and did all the changes. And I forgot to change my weapon. So I'm still using the same weapon as in my last video. And as you can see in the gameplay, now the build is far better. Clears much nicer, and overall feeling, single target defense of the build much better than before. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy. Otherwise, stun charm, life flask, mana flask, that's it. Now, since I have it open here, let's get to gems. My infused weapon, that's the ascendancy thingy. I'm using Rising Tempest, Conk Effect, Execute, and Blind at the moment. Although I'm not sure on this setup, I might change it later, not sure yet. And then I'm using Rapid Assault as my single target ability. And yeah, I heard I was for a couple minutes on someone's stream yesterday, and there was this person in the chat that said basically that the game, the only good ability in the game is basic attack, and that the basic attack is always gonna be better than everything, and all of this nonsense. And meanwhile, I'm here using Rapid Assault, which I don't think anyone's using this skill, and the skill is fucking bonkers. It deals a lot of damage, it feels good to slash with this attack speed, and the good thing is the attack time counts for the whole thing to go off. So all of these hits go off in 0.79 seconds, and in 0.79 seconds I'm doing like 7 hits. 6 rapid stab, and the final stab inflicts bleeding. Yeah, so I'm doing 7 hits in 0.79 seconds. So now if you have some blind on hit or any kind of thing like that, then you're applying it with, I don't know, 2 hits within 2 seconds, right? So not just overall the feeling of the ability and it nicely dashes you like this, but even the damage, because they've actually buffed the damage. I think it was like decent before. I would say it was it was balanced before, the damage on this thing. Or yeah, maybe, so let's say mid. The damage was mid. It was okay, right? And now they buffed the explosion. They gave it like 70% damage boost, and yeah, on level 20 now, instead of 180 attack damage, the explosion deals like 320 on level 20 skill gem. So yeah, and they also buffed the radius, so, and gave it guaranteed bleed. So that's a bit crazy, because this is the attack damage. This is the attack damage of each spear in the enemy, and you can have up to 5 spears in the enemy. So on level 20, 5 times 320, right? If you detonate it. And the way I detonate it, as I've covered in the last video, is thanks to Explosive Spear. Because it's a detonator skill. When it goes off, it detonates the spears in the Rapid Assault. Or detonates them instantly if you've consumed a Frenzy Charge. Yeah, so, but that's the Rapid Assault. Linked with Volcanic Eruption, and I must say I do love this skill. It's sort of a, let's say, Molten Strike. If you've played PoE 1, this is a Molten Strike thing, exactly the effect. You hit the enemy and these molten balls fly out and then fall to the ground, and each deals AoE damage and they can overlap. And there's 4 of these balls if you're hitting ignited enemy. And yeah, they unfortunately they have 0.4 duration. But on the other hand, it would be quite ridiculous in terms of damage if it didn't have any cooldown restrictions. Yeah, but as far as I know, the Volcanic Eruption, it like the support gem itself has attack, AoE, melee, strike, projectile, trigger, and fire, and it has melee and projectile at the same time. But the damage from this support is actually just from projectiles, so I don't think melee damage increases the projectiles damage of this support gem, so just think about that. Although I'm not sure 100%, but I don't think so. Yeah, but someone recommended this combination in the comment sections on one of my first videos this leaks, the Twister Smith of Kitava, and said that you must try something like Rapid Assault with Volcanic Eruption. It's great for single target. And yes, he was right, it is great for single target, but mainly it is super fun to see those little balls fly out the enemy. And yeah, so that's Volcanic Eruption. If you're watching this video, thank you very much for the recommendation. It feels good. I actually didn't know about the gem, and yesterday I went all over all the new support gems, just if I've missed anything super interesting like this. Yeah, so that's Volcanic Eruption. Otherwise, close combat, pinpoint critical, and overextend. So I'm balancing out the pinpoint critical a bit. And you could argue I'm not using Conk Effect here, but I don't like to use Conk Effect here because it restricts your reach with the skill. That's the first thing. And also, I'm not sure if Conk Effect is good for the volcanic eruption, because I feel like the volcanic eruption's never going too far from the enemy. It sort of does like a fountain thing. It drops near the enemy. So I think Conk Effect actually is worse here for the volcanic eruption, and because it lowers the AoE of the explosion. It's 1 meter and yeah, it's like 0.7 meters with Conk Effect. So I think it actually lowers the damage overlap potential. So I'm using the support for now. Then Explosive Spear, Spectral Volley, and I put in the Despoiler and Persistence for the ground effect duration, because if you consume a Frenzy Charge, then it's gonna make a Burning Ground, and the Burning Ground has a duration. You can see it right under here. Frenzy Charge 8.4 seconds, and if I remove these two, it's 4 seconds. And I'm using it because the Burning Ground itself counts as an ignite for your volcanic assault. So you don't need to first apply ignite with something and then just start doing damage with volcanic eruption. You can, if you have frenzy charges, you can just place it underneath the boss immediately if you're in a map scenario, and then just go ham right off the bat with your rapid assault and volcanic eruption. So that's why. Then I'm using Lightning Spear with Primal Armament, Longshot, and Volt. And oh boy, after the last video I made, I said that I for some reason I wanted to try a chain instead of fork, how it would feel. And I again stumbled as I opened up the gems, and I again stumbled upon the Volt support. Because it was actually recommended for the Lightning Spear, and I know why from that point on, because yeah, Volt support is super strength. It's super strong. It essentially gives you chains without a damage downside and actually with damage upside. It gives you, if you charge it up by moving, as you can see, I've got 30 stacks. Now I've got 15% damage as extra lightning on the next attack, and also shit ton of chains. And if it consumes a frenzy charge, that's what's making the glorious clusterfuck of spears on the screen. And this combination, combined with rapid assault, barrage, gives you this screen-wide clear that kills everything. So yeah, Volt, great support. And someone actually mentioned it in the comments under my last video, and then yeah. Just before I read the comment, I tried it myself, and it is phenomenal. The last support here is Ambush to give me, higher crit chance against full life enemies, because that's what I want to do with Lightning Spear. It's for clearing, and I want to only clear with it, not using it for a single target. And that's why I'm using crit against full life enemies. I want to one-shot enemies, so Ambush. Then Sniper's Mark, just to generate me frenzy charges on bosses, and I occasionally press it during mapping also, just for some extra frenzy charges. Tame Beast, I'm not using any beast, but I'm still walking around with the Tame Beast skill, and I think I'll be doing this for the whole league, because I want to fish for the perfect beast. And one thing I was thinking about, there's a unique strongbox that respawns the monster up to 6 times, I think, and each time it gets additional modifier. And I wonder if that strongbox can spawn beasts, because I had it like 3 times the strongbox, and it always spawned, it spawned humanoid 2 times, and 1 time it spawned demon. So I wonder if that strongbox can spawn a beast, and if it can, that's gonna be hilarious, seeing 10 modifiers beasts just run around and help you and whack things for you. That would just be phenomenal, and I would love to see it. So yeah, but I'm in general having Tame Beasts just to fish for beasts. Then Barrage with Inhibitor, the new support, so you don't consume frenzy charges, because you don't actually want to consume frenzy charges with Barrage. You want to consume them with Lightning Spear. And now with inhibitor, I mean, phenomenal. It's just far better, far more quality of life, and far better clear. Then linked with ingenuity for cooldown recovery, and then premeditation for the damage. Slotted in Wind Dancer instead of Herald of Thunder, linked with precision, clarity, and currently main. Then Combat Frenzy, of course, with Perfusion and increased, Herbalism. I might do some other aura in the end. I might place in Herald of Thunder again, but I'm not sure yet. And then I'm using Trinity, linked with Cold Mastery, Fire Mastery, and Lightning Mastery. That's the skill gems. And now, lastly, for the skill tree, made my 3rd ascendancy. I think I'm gonna do my 4th ascendancy very soon. I feel like I've got the DPS for it, and yeah, I feel like I'm good enough to do it. So yeah, I did my 3rd ascendancy, and I originally thought I'll be taking Info to Kill for the extra, especially the single target, right? But I, in the end, went with Elemental Infusion just because I wanted to try it. And in the end, it also gives you a little bit of damage even on single target because I'm using Explosive Spear, and the Explosive Spear's other hit is sort of automatized. So once every now and then in the boss fight, once every few seconds, I press the sniper's mark, I regenerate frenzy charges and immediately consume it with the Explosive Spear. So this is actually helping me even on single target. Yep. Otherwise, the ascendancy is still the same. I've covered the critical strike node in my last video. And I've changed the skill tree around a bit. I respec from these movement speed and evasion nodes, and currently I'm at 34% movement speed almost. And I went the damage and attack speed side. That's the change I did yesterday. And the good thing about Stock and Leap is that it's going off all the time because, one portion of it is because of your Explosive Spear. You're using it even on bosses. And the other portion is you've got the Volcanic Eruptions, and those are projectiles, so they're proccing your increased melee damage. And the Rapid Assault, which with your proccing your projectiles, is proccing the increased projectile damage. So they feed off of each other very nicely. So yeah, that's what I'm using. And yeah, the skill tree. Otherwise, I took a path at the top here for this crit cluster. The jewel socket, yeah, my jewels are dog shit for now. I don't have any, basically. Another crit cluster here, and I needed the damages extra cold and freeze build up right here. Then this portion still the same. Took this evasion movement speed node here, crit here, and yeah, otherwise this portion still the same. And I just recently pathed right here for the block and for the defenses on equipped shield. And then, I don't know, perhaps I'll take these nodes right here for more damage. Perhaps I'll take some evasion nodes. I have no idea. We have yet to see that, because now I've got a couple more levels to fill this cluster. And then perhaps I maybe be kept on block. That would be great. Alright, and by the way, as always, the path of building will be in the description if you want to see the skill tree in more detail. And yeah, let's just talk about my next upgrades for this build, how would I approach it. And since now I know that the gloves are actually good, they're working with your Trinity tremendously. And now you don't have to basically care about what flat elemental damage do you get, because these gloves convert it all to like evenly spread it to all 3 elements. So you don't have to care about trying to balance your fire, your cold, your lightning for the Trinity support to work. And I found that trying to balance these damage numbers or damages in PoE 2 is, at least for me now, harder than in PoE 1. Like, PoE 2 is much more newer game and is still unsolved. It's just a few months old, so we don't know yet all the things, and they keep on adding new things. So yeah, things might change, but since now I know that I'm never gonna replace these gloves basically ever for this build. I love this version of the build. And yeah, so the next upgrade in terms of gear definitely I think has to be the weapon. To get a weapon with ideally, again, overall more flat damage. Probably increased elemental damage is still worth. I'm not sure though, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be better to get just flat damage prefixes. I'm not sure yet. Probably will be, but I'm not sure. And ideally I would get a weapon something like this, yeah, with the flat damage, with the attack speed, but most importantly I want crit on my weapon, and crit would be amazing. If I would get like high roll of crit, like 4% crit for the weapon, that would be so good. I would be so happy, but it depends on what's on the trade. It's still early in the league, and then I don't think people have explored much of the crafting possibilities. That's what I need to do after I finish my Atlas quest. I'm currently at the tier 12 plus. And yeah, so the weapon will be the change, and I also want to get another set with another weapon, because ideally I would get level of melee skills on my main hand weapon to get levels to my rapid assault, and my other weapon would be with levels to projectiles to get levels to my lightning spear. Although I think it will be a bit tricky to get mana then, but for clearing it's fine, because I've got, where is it? There are nodes for mana on kill. Yeah, this node right here, for 2 points I can get mana on kill, just spec it only for the other weapon set, and that's what I also want to do. Just not just get other weapons and switch in between them during mapping and single target, but also I want to do figure out at least some weapon set skill points, because that's actually, for me at least, from my experience, and yeah, what I did, the right side of the skill tree, I just feel like the right side of the skill tree is a harder actually to utilize your weapon set skill points, because, but on the other hand, I have not done much right side builds. This is like my third or fourth right side skill tree build, so I may be mistaken, but as far as I know for now, how I felt, it is actually much harder to get weapon sets, like weapon sets to work in here, because technically all of these crit notes and this crit stuff, which I'm going for when I go for the right side skill tree, is something you want on both weapon sets, right? Usually, if you play a crit build, you usually play with both weapon sets crit, and for clearing, even for single target. So yeah, that's a bit hard for me. And then what's there left? If you spec all the crits for both weapon sets, then what you need is increases to damage, because if you don't have increases to damage and a lot of crit, you're still doing shit damage because you didn't increase the damage. That's how the calculations work, right? So all of these points, like the increases to damage, or these increases to damage, or the skill speed, or where do I have any other increases? Yeah, like these points, these other increases, or these increases to damage, you need them on both of your weapon sets. So I'm having actually a hard time trying to figure out what will I do with the weapon sets, but I'm thinking about something like increased crit damage against full life enemies. That will definitely be something I want to spec on my lightning spear weapon set. And yeah, maybe for the single target, I'll take these 4 points for the increased damage. Yeah, I don't know yet, but I'm trying. That's it. Yeah, I think I'm getting there. I'm kind of getting there. Yeah, the other upgrade, massive upgrade, will be actually getting better jewels than this dog shit I have. So yeah, and I've currently got 4 jewel sockets, I think. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 jewel sockets. So I actually have made some currency yesterday. I was blasting like crazy, and then I made some currency, dropped some divines, perfect jeweler's orb, some exalts, uniques and all of this stuff. So I might do some upgrades. I might wait for the weapon upgrade just because I want to try recombination first. I didn't recombinate anything yet. And I might actually buy some jewels, maybe rare jewels for now. Yeah, but that's, I think, all the upgrades I have in my mind right now. And yeah, the build's evolving. The build now feels great. I wonder, I didn't do any tier 16s yet. The highest tier I did was a tier 12. Yeah, the one you might have seen in the showcase with the double boss. The, I don't know what's the map called. Yeah, with the double boss, with the skeleton mammoth and the sorcerer or the necromancer that summons it. Yeah. So that was a tier 12 map with more monster life, with plus monster level. So technically it was a tier 13 map with lots of more monster life, and I felt like I did just fine. Yeah, but one last thing I wanted to say, I love the boss design in this game. I feel like now now when we, I think, don't have that much access to insane damage against bursting enemies in couple hits on one-shotting them and don't having to do mechanics, I now feel much better because I feel like I'm actually rewarded for the combat and for the dodging all the stuff I do in the boss fight, as you might have seen in the in the boss fight showcase I did in the gameplay, because yeah, that's a thing. So I love the boss design, I love the boss fights, especially now, and it turns out even when you dodge attacks and all of this stuff on bosses, 63 evasion, 53 block, and 63 that is with Wind Dancer, so much more less, much less, is for me enough. I am rarely dying on bosses. When I die, it's just a bad death in a map for some monster I didn't see, and it just did yeah, I had these little, I don't even know what it was, some kind of basically a little mob that did some laser beam quickly in melee range, and I didn't even know that the mob was there because it was a dark map, and I'm playing on a lower brightness, and then and then I couldn't see the mob, and it just zaps me, and I lay dead all of a sudden. So that's the most of my deaths, just random like this, and I probably didn't evade it and didn't block it, so unfortunate. Yeah, that's the build for now. More upgrades will come, and for my next builds, I've got like 2 builds in my mind. One will be with spears again, and the other will be with maces. So, and maybe even for a spellcaster, I've got in mind like some Sire of Shards build, since it's new, it's added. Yeah, I've got a lot of builds to cover, so stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching now, Exile. If you want to see me play live, then hop on the stream. Link is in the description, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you next time, Exile. Bye-bye.